Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing.
Hi, hello, everybody. It finally happened after 2.5 years.
What?
I caught the COVID.
Oh, I was like, that's about how long we've had the podcast. No, it isn't. It's 1.5 years. Never mind. That sucks.
It does suck. You know what? It sucks.
No.
But I had very mild COVID.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, I had very mild symptoms. I basically just had a head cold. The only really shitty thing is that I did lose my sense of taste. And I thought it was because my nose was really... My biggest symptom was that I had a sore throat for like 3 days. Not even, probably like 2 days. But I've had a stuffy nose since last Tuesday. And that's been my big thing.
Yeah, you do sound a little congested for sure.
Yeah, I don't sound my hottest.
No. What do you mean? That's the hot, sexy, raspy voice thing.
No, it just increases the manliness of my voice.
It does, yeah.
But I don't do well with a stuffy nose. I am a very unhappy person when my nose is stuffed up because I don't like breathing through my mouth.
Yeah.
So I did cry a little bit about it. But I thought that I couldn't taste anything because my nose was stuffed. Because you know how if your nose is stuffed, you can't really taste very well.
True, yeah.
And I couldn't smell anything either. So I was like, damn, it's from this freaking stuffy nose.
Yeah.
But then my nose started to unstuff on Sunday. And then I was like, uh-oh, I still can't taste anything. Oh, no. Yeah, and I still can't taste or smell anything.
Oh, that sucks. Hopefully that doesn't last for long. I've heard that symptom can last like forever for some people.
Yep, I read and people say it can be... you know, a week after your COVID clears up, 4 weeks, 6 months.
Oh my gosh. That's a part of the potential long COVID symptoms, isn't it? Between that, the congestion, coughing.
I guess, yeah. I was reading about it because I'm like, man, not being able to taste things is weird. And, okay, this is weird. Anyone else that has COVID, hit me up and tell me if you had this experience. So I can't taste things, but I can differentiate tastes. Like,
do you mean texture?
I was eating...
Is that a texture thing?
Like, for example, I was eating raspberries today.
Okay.
And I could tell when I hit a sweet one and when I hit a sour one, but I couldn't taste the raspberries.
What?
Like, I can tell flavors apart.
I wonder...
Like, for breakfast this morning, I made a breakfast sandwich, and I could taste... Like, I made... this is not interesting to anybody, but I make like faux bacon from tempeh that tastes like bacon, so it's like smoky and salty. Mm-hmm. And I had it on sourdough with like plant-based cheese and like this like plant-based egg because I'm intolerant to eggs and greens. And I could taste all the different tastes without tasting them.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's very weird. Like I can tell sweet, salty, and sour apart from each other.
I wonder if that's because of a tang, like a you know, like when you touch metal and you feel it, like it's like a ting, not a ting.
No, I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's just me. It feels, I don't know. I can feel when metal's on my tongue because it produces this weird, I don't know what to call it, like a zing.
I have no idea what you mean, but now I'm fascinated by whatever that is.
Okay. Well, I was going to say maybe that's what those other types of foods are doing for you. They're just producing this different feel, the way that they hit your tongue.
But I can tell. Like I was eating raspberries and I'm like, ooh, that was a sour one. But like I can't taste the flavor of raspberry. Or I was drinking, like I can tell orange juice from water. Like I was preferring the drinking of orange juice because I'm like, it has more feeling in my mouth.
Well, that could be a texture thing.
No, but it's the taste. It's the taste.
I don't get it.
Weird. I'm like, trust me, I don't either. I don't understand how I can taste things without tasting them. So if somebody else has had this,
yes,
please
hit us up. Please
explain it to me.
I do not understand.
I read and it said more often than not, if you lose your taste, you have milder COVID, which I definitely did. Like looking at other people, even my husband. So we think that I got COVID, and we think that I gave it to my husband because his symptoms didn't start until after mine.
Fair.
And he is not doing good.
Oh no.
He's like, okay, like he's going to survive.
Did he lose his taste and smell?
No, he did not lose his taste.
And he has the worst symptoms.
But he had pretty much every other symptom.
Oh, interesting. So there could be something to that then.
So it's very weird. And obviously we have the same strain because we're pretty positive I gave it to him.
Yeah.
Because I had symptoms 3 days before him and we didn't go anywhere else. Like we were both at a thing on Saturday.
Right.
And then I started to have weird things happening on Monday. And then Wednesday he started feeling like shit. And he had like friggin' everything. Like I was worried we're gonna need to go to like a hospital or something because he was going downhill and he had a really bad fever.
Oh my gosh.
For like, I don't even know, like 4 days. And he just kept getting worse and worse every day.
Oh my gosh. That's so scary.
Yeah. I just was crying because my nose was stuffed up.
It sucks when both people in the house are sick, like, because then who's going to take care of who? I want you to take care of me.
Right. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah. And that's the thing is that I had to like kind of help him out more because he really did have, he definitely got the shittier end of the COVID.
Yeah, that sucks. Oh my gosh. And is he doing a little better now?
He's doing better now because, I went out and once I was like not ill anymore, I went out and got him cold medicine.
Oh, good. So it's masking it, but
yeah. So we don't actually know if he feels any better, but
because I have heard that there can be like resurgence with the symptoms as well. Like even after the fever breaks, I've heard of people getting the fever again a few days later.
Yeah, that's what happened to him.
Oh, it did happen to him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because he had the fever, and that's the other thing I did. I started to get a fever on. Oh, my mother is calling me. Sorry, Mom. I'm sure you're listening to this episode.
Does she not know that it's Wednesday?
Come on, Ginge. No, she's been calling me every day since I got COVID to see how I've been.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, she's very precious. And I think she's worried because I was like, I told her my husband's going downhill.
Oh, no. Of course she's worried. Oh, God. Love your mother.
And I didn't sound good the first couple days.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I sounded a lot worse than I felt because my very first symptom, this is another weird thing. My first symptom was that I lost my voice and I didn't have a sore throat.
Weird.
I just lost my voice. So I had like the raspiest, like hoarse voice. I sounded like I'd been screaming the day before.
That's so
And then
funny.
I got a little bit of a sore throat. So my voice just sounded like I was on death's door, but really I was fine.
Yeah. I've never heard that one being the first symptom before.
Yeah, which is why I didn't think I had COVID at first.
Yeah. Especially if you felt your throat. It didn't feel like a normal, like, sick sore throat. It just felt like you were screaming. I would never think I had COVID if I had that kind of sore throat.
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't at first. And then the only reason I was starting to panic is because this is the other thing that friggin' sucks is that my husband and I were supposed to be going away to Cape Breton, which is an island off the coast of Nova Scotia, with our friends for the weekend and to see my family. And then obviously we couldn't do that. So I'm very sad about that.
Hard
and then
not to be bitter.
Oh my God, so freaking bitter. We'd planned this vacation like months ago.
Yeah.
And we were staying at our friend's beautiful cottage and we love visiting her. And I was going to see my mom and see my brother. And I was going to eat my favorite shitty pizza in Cape Breton. And I was really excited. And then to make it worse is that we thought we were going on vacation. So we didn't buy groceries that week.
Oh,
because we thought we were going to be going away for like 4 days, 5 days. So we're not going to buy groceries.
No.
And then we got COVID and we're like, oh, well, this is great.
I wish you had called me or something to be like, hey, so I have COVID and I have no food. So please help me. I would have been there.
I ordered in a bunch of food. I mean, I couldn't taste anything. So I was kind of overeating anyway.
You can order, you can deliver, you can get groceries delivered as well.
Yeah, we were going to do that. We've never done that before. So we just got takeout until I was well again. And then I could leave and go get us some groceries.
Yeah.
And get my husband some cold medicine before he died.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. God. I'm going to go with the fact that I eat healthy is the reason why COVID didn't beat me up. Because we clearly got the same strain. And We're like a nice little case study of our symptoms.
True. That could very well be the case. I was actually thinking that too when I found out that you had COVID, but your symptoms were pretty mild. Was that I know that you eat a little healthier than your husband.
Oh my God, a little.
I know. I'm just like,
You could put us in a lab and study us. We eat so differently. Right. Yeah, we literally buy separate groceries and cook separate meals because I love him, but he eats trash and I'm really healthy.
Well, you're intolerant to half the stuff he probably eats anyway.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. I'm like obsessed with eating healthy.
That is not a bad thing.
No, if I have to be obsessed with something, I'm glad it's eating healthy. Because that's the thing too. They did a bunch of studies on long COVID and they found if you had very healthy, diverse gut bacteria, you did not develop long COVID symptoms.
No way.
I pride myself on ensuring I eat a diet that gives me healthy, diverse gut bacteria.
I got to get back into that book. I've read half of it and then I stopped. So I need to get back into that because
you got to do it in case you get COVID.
Oh God.
Because I didn't have I wasn't tired. I never had because midway through Tuesday, I took a sick day because I tested positive. I was more mentally stressed about it, honestly. Most of my COVID was in my head.
That's
to be
fair.
honest.
Well, there's just so many unknowns about it, and
I was worried I was going to get really sick. I was upset I was missing vacation. It was just a lot. So I took half a sick day and I went and I got in bed and I cried about it because I was just sad and my nose was stuffy.
Yeah.
The next day, because my vacation was supposed to start on Thursday, so then on Wednesday I used another sick day and I was like, I have COVID, I'm not going to work, I'm sorry. And then I was like, well, I should lie in bed all day to rest.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, after an hour I was like, I'm so over this, I'm bored.
Oh,
I couldn't sleep.
Oh yeah,
I
especially
wasn't tired
because you are the most active person I know. I think you're always doing stuff, moving around, going places and doing stuff. And yeah, I can't imagine you trying to just lay down and rest your body.
Oh my God, I tried to. The only way I was able to do it, because I was forcing myself to do it, because I'm I don't want to be up and around and then feel even worse.
Right.
So I binged so much trash television.
Did you?
Because that's my guilty pleasure. So
I bet.
I watched a lot of trash television and that made me able to lie in bed for 8 hours.
Excellent. There's a lot of good stuff going on right now. Sandman's out. Ooh, that was good. I watched that right away.
See, when I'm sick, I need trashy television.
Oh, see, when I'm sick, I need horror.
Brainless.
We are very different in that way.
You know what's funny is my husband, when he started getting his Rona, he wanted to watch horror. That is what he wanted to watch.
I actually know I'm getting sick without being sick or having symptoms because I crave watching horror things. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I do that or what it is about me. But as soon as I'm I'm really craving this horror genre for some reason. And I'm like,
then you're getting sick.
And then I know, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting sick. Oh God, this is not good. Even though I know I'm about to have to take a sick day and binge all my favorite horror shows and movies. But it's just a precursor. It's so weird. It's a craving for that genre. It doesn't make any sense to me, logically, but that is just what it is. And it's proven correct every single time. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's how we'll know.
I guess so. Yeah. I'll let you know. We'll know if I'm I'm going to crave all this extra horror than I normally consume on a regular basis. Okay. Well, with that being said, are we ready for my story? Oh.
Yes, make me feel better about missing my vacation.
I don't know if this will make
my
you feel
vacation
better.
Days to have COVID.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I don't think this is about ghosts. That was my category that I rolled for last time. This is actually a very different way to tell a ghost story. This is not technically a ghost story. It kind of is, but it's
no, Megan, you got to start off confident.
Yeah, no. It's a really good story. I had never heard it before, so I am very excited to tell it, but it's not your typical ghost story. So most of this information I actually got from an article written at housebeautiful.com. I've never heard of this website before, but they have really beautifully written articles in there. So today we're going to chat about, it's actually the very first house that was declared legally haunted in the United States.
You can declare a house legally haunted?
Apparently so. So we're going to tell the story about how this happened. So this house was only like a short 10-minute drive across the Tappan Zee Bridge over the Hudson River from Sleepy Hollow. If we all know Sleepy Hollow, that was the birthplace.
Headless Horseman.
Yeah, by Rip Van Winkle. The house in question is called the Ackley House. It's located at 1 Lavetta Place in Nyack, New York. And it's one party in the trial that's called Stambovsky versus Ackley, which is also referred to as the Ghostbusters ruling.
What?
I know! This just seems way too ridiculous to be true, but it is. I looked it up. So this is a case in the New York Supreme Court that basically said that if the plaintiff, in this case it was Stambovsky, brought a suit to the court to rescind a contract to buy this particular house after he discovered that the home was haunted and therefore lowering the value of the home. So he wanted to rescind his contract that he signed buying this house because he found out after it was haunted and it was lowering the value of the home.
This is what you always see in horror movies when a new family moves into this house and then like within the first week it's haunted and everybody's like, why don't they just move out? Because you can't if you buy it. You know how hard it is to buy a house?
Right? That and in and of itself, but also like trying to sell a house that is haunted. And in this particular
I would not
case,
trust. If I saw a house was purchased and a week later it was for sale, I would not be buying that house.
No, absolutely. Well, depends.
I'd be like, there's something wrong. You got a dud there.
If there were poltergeists in the home, I probably wouldn't move in. But if it was, a nice friendly ghost, maybe. Like to feel like you're not alone anymore. So, during the course of her ownership, the woman's name was Helen Ackley, and her family, they all lived in the home, and they allegedly reported that there were numerous poltergeists present in the home publicly to both Reader's Digest and a local newspaper on 3 separate occasions between 1977 and 1989. Her home was also one of 5 listed on a walking tour of the city for this reason. Nancy said she did disclose the hauntings to Jeffrey Stambovsky before he signed a contract for the home in either 1989 or 1990. Once Stambovsky signed the contract, he paid $32,500 as a down payment on the sale price of the home, which at the time was $650,000. Helen said that she wouldn't sign her end of the contract until after Jeffrey was aware of the hauntings for full disclosure. The broker telephoned Jeffrey and told him what Helen had said, and he laughed and said, quote, "We'll have to call the Ghostbusters," end quote.
Famous last words.
Right? So after he was told whether he believed or not, Helen then could sign her end of the contract. So it came up in trial.
Sounds like Helen's doing her due diligence here.
Right. That's what I said, because obviously she knew this was something that was real and he needed to be aware of. And she was, doing her due diligence to make sure that he had full disclosure of this hauntings. So it came up in trial that Helen and her broker said that this was the correct chain of events. But the plaintiff and his broker said that was not the case and that he was actually not informed of it at all before he signed his end of the contract. So it was just he said, she said at this point. He was from New York City and wasn't aware of the stories behind the haunting of this house. A week later, after the final signings, Jeffrey wanted to meet with Helen in person at the home so that they could chat about the ghosts in the house. I'm not trying to rhyme on purpose today, sir. Helen told him some of the stories of her experiences there, quite passionately as well. Like she was very passionate about the ghosts in the house, apparently. He immediately left and he filed the suit requesting rescission of the contract sale. On top of that, he asked for damages for fraudulent misrepresentation by Helen and the real estate office that listed the home. After reviewing the case, the New York Supreme Court trial dismissed Jeffrey's complaint. However, he appealed. This is the most well-known conclusion to the appeal. Quote, having reported the ghost's presence in both a national publication and the local press, defendant is estopped to deny their existence, and as a matter of law, the house is haunted. End quote. They also said that no matter if the house is actually haunted or not, it's the fact that this house had been in the news all over New York, at least, in the national publication, that it was haunted and thus greatly affecting the value before the sale. The courts say in this case, quote, the most meticulous inspection and the search would not reveal the presence of poltergeists at the premises or unearth the property's ghoulish reputation in the community. End quote. Thus, equity would allow Stambovsky the remedy of contract rescission against the seller, Helen Ackley.
I feel like in this day and age, what year was this again?
1989, I believe.
80, right? 1990.
1889 or 1989 or 1990. They weren't sure exactly what year it was.
Yeah. I feel like in this day and age, you at a poltergeist house, you get more money for that.
Now, yeah, I agree.
People
There's a lot of money in that.
Pay more for it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They can make it into something.
Well, it's funny you say that because it says here that the case generated a lot of publicity and real estate agents all over the area had between 25 and 50 potential buyers that called within 1 week of the court's decision.
See?
Right?
There's people interested.
Absolutely. People want to live. So one of the people who had tried to apply was a man named Kreskin. I am not familiar with the name, but it sounds like I should be. He is called the Amazing Kreskin, or AKA George Joseph Kreskin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Isn't he a magician?
Right. He's a mentalist. So he was a renowned mentalist interested in purchasing a haunted home where he could curate his collection of paranormal paraphernalia. So those were the types of people who were trying to bid on this home. Anyway, Helen did end up selling it to someone else and moved to Florida in 1991. She sadly passed away in 2003, and her son-in-law, quote unquote, lays odds that her spirit is back at One Levada Place haunting the place.
Oh man, that'd be sweet.
Wouldn't it? So the fact that a home was ever deemed legally haunted, it blows my mind, honestly. Also,
what happened to it now? Does somebody do stuff with it?
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, there's definitely updates for sure. So the fact that it's just over the bridge from Sleepy Hollow, and also that it's a Victorian home. One Levada Place is, we're just going to talk a little bit about the home. So it is within a cul-de-sac in a community that was basically envied by everybody who didn't live in that community. The houses there are gorgeous. I'm not going to lie. I looked it up on Google Maps. I did Street View because I was like, I need to see this place like in Google Maps. And it is like gorgeous. It is a beautiful Victorian home. Like if you can just picture any Victorian home, it's that. It's just gorgeous. A wraparound veranda porch and like it's a different shape. Like you can see all the different peaks in the roof, and it's so many windows, and it overlooks the Hudson River. Like it is one of the most beautiful homes I've ever seen.
When I was in university, I lived in a lot of apartments, or I had friends that had apartments in like old Victorian heritage homes in Halifax. And when I was young, I was like, when I get older, I'm going to buy an old Victorian home like this. They're so pretty. They always have these gorgeous big vaulted ceilings,
yes,
big doorways, and I love how they look. And then after living in them, I'm like,
no, really?
Absolutely not.
How
I
come?
Want a brand new shiny house. I don't want whatever's going on.
Creaky
they all had
floors.
mice in them.
Oh.
They were all drafty.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a port city. If you live in Halifax, there's a good chance.
Rats or mice.
It does not matter how new your house is. You have mice to Port City. That's why I like Sackville. I haven't seen any mice here.
There are either mice or rats in the ceiling above my bedroom.
Oh, that's great.
It's really not, because you can hear them skittering, and it literally sounds like, when you hear things behind the walls.
Oh, yes. Oh, I've lived in many apartments.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did have a mouse in your wall once.
I had mice. I had rats. I had squirrels twice.
Oh, my God. It's so gross. Yeah, I hear them frequently enough that I feel like they have a nest like above my bedroom, which is gross. It drives Leia crazy. She's like got big, like the big pupils, the big black pupils are just like racing on the ceiling back and forth, listening to where the feet are going. Anyway, it's gross. Yeah. So this house though, I'm sure it's beautiful and not full of mice, but it is full of ghosts. So there is that. It is a 3-story home, and it was built in 1890. That's a long time ago. And has about 4,600 square feet of living space, which is huge.
Oh, wow.
If you think about it. The home has a beautiful front yard and is right beside the Hudson River. And almost every single window of this home has a gorgeous view, especially on the water side. There are 8 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't imagine, like, what are you doing with this home when you have 8 bedrooms? Like, who needs that many bedrooms? Little is known about the early occupants, though according to interviews with local residents, it was likely home to a family that is still in the area until it went unoccupied for about a decade, actually, in the 1960s. So that was very soon before Helen Ackley bought it.
I wonder if it was unoccupied because it was haunted.
That's my guess, because if somebody bought it in the 1960s, they also didn't own it for very long before Helen took it over. So I'm going to assume. The stories of ghosts in this home can be traced back to around the mid-1970s. Again, a Reader's Digest article called Our Haunted House on the Hudson. And it was actually written by Helen Ackley. Helen had lived in the home with her husband, George Ackley, and their 4 now adult children. In the article, Helen wrote about the many ghosts and poltergeists that their family lived with while they lived happily in the home. I feel like this is just one of those families that just loves ghosts and loves the thought of other entities or whatever, just living happily, coinciding together in this cohesive environment, giant house. In one encounter, George swore up and down that he saw a pair of disembodied, moccasin-clad feet walk by him from the hallway upstairs above the staircase he was standing on. In another incident, Helen said that she saw a man emerge in colonial or Revolutionary War uniform or clothing while she was repainting the entryway. Their daughter, Cynthia, who at the time she was in high school, she said that she would be, this one is a little much, she would be woken up daily by something that was shaking her bed.
Nope, don't like that.
No, thank you. I
would take one of the other 8 bedrooms.
Just do not. Like, why? Anyway, it stopped after she politely asked the room or whatever to let her sleep in. I'm assuming that one time, maybe not like every day. I don't know. Please just let me sleep in. Really?
It was just the parents under the bed.
Right.
Like, this kid always sleeping in, never getting their chores done. We got to really work this ghost angle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? The Ackley family actually welcomed these events by those unseen forces. They felt that these spirits were friendly, so they actually started feeling like a part of the family. Before they moved in, even the kids around the area believed the house was haunted and would say to Helen when she moved in, quote, "Lady, you know you just bought a haunted house, right?" End quote. They lived there for 25 years or so. So in 1989, Helen was finally ready to downsize. All her kids were grown up and moved out. So she decided to list the house with Richard Ellis of Ellis Realty. The home was listed at just under $800,000. And Helen was thrilled when a young couple, Jeffrey and Patricia Stambovsky, were eager to get the contract underway. So this is a story you already know about. According to both Richard Ellis and Cynthia, Helen's daughter, Helen did disclose that the home was haunted, and a few passing conversations that Richard says that he even remembers Helen refusing to sign her end of the contract before having a conversation with the Stambovskys about it. While the Stambovskys claim they found out about the local folklore through a contractor, and they wouldn't have wanted to even purchase the property if they had known that beforehand. Jeffrey had always asserted that he doesn't believe in ghosts, but he did believe in the market and that other people who do believe in ghosts can impact it. That's fair. So obviously we know this part of the story. The court dismissed, and then the Stambovskys appealed the decision, which brought the case to the New York State Supreme Court. Justice Rubin disagreed with the former dismissal and was joined by two other judges to form the majority opinion that the caveat of buyer beware should be set aside in this context because the defect isn't a physical one. As legal scholar Eric Goldman explained it to House Beautiful, he said, quote, Helen owed the Stambovskys the same level of promotional effort because of her conduct before the litigation. I think the judge has looked at it as a one-off type of ruling, trying to come up with a solution that was equitable and fair for both parties. Goldman also acknowledges that while the court applied the standard as if the house weren't legally haunted, that particular line of a court opinion is in the top 10 most remarkable statements that he has ever seen in court. Because ghost stories don't typically emerge in a courtroom setting, especially not as verifiable evidence, since those statements can be and are so easily misconstrued by the public. One Lavetta place has changed hands frequently, with Ellis saying maybe it's because of the energy there. Considering that it's unusual for a property like this to change hands so frequently, yet he also thinks it's not important to disclose a perceived haunting. That said, none of the subsequent owners have reported any ghosts, some of which have been notable public figures. In the late 1990s, filmmaker Adam Brooks, who co-wrote the screenplay for Practical Magic, lived in it.
I love that movie.
I know.
I love the house in Practical Magic, too.
I have to wonder, it was in the late 90s that he wrote that, so I wonder if that was or that he lived there, sorry. I can't remember what year that movie came out, but I wonder if they
I feel like
related.
It's got to be the 90s.
Yeah, I think it must have been early 90s. So maybe he found the house after he wrote that movie because he just fell in love with it because it was so similar to what he had just created on film. So after him, Ingrid Michelson lived in it until she sold it in 2015, at which point the house was actually listed for $1.9 million. She didn't blame ghosts for leaving, and in fact, never mentions anything of the paranormal sort at all. She said that the home was enchanting, but not creepy. She said, quote, I absolutely adored living at One Lavetta. It's a magical home. It's a memorable home. It's a home where people gather. It draws you in and comforts you. And the view is unbeatable. End quote. Another resident was musician Matisiahu, who lived there for 4 years until 2019. So clearly the home attracts some fabulous creatives, Helen Ackley, the creative writer, included. The house has been quiet in recent years. There haven't been any reports, publicly anyway, of any hauntings at One Lavetta Place in Nyack, New York. So I had to look it up. I was like, maybe it's on the market now. It's not, but in 2019, I'm assuming when that last musician sold it, It was on the market. It was actually on the market as a 6-bedroom, 3.5 bath. So I wonder if they obviously did renovations to it too.
They could have converted it.
Yeah, that's what my thought was as well. So the estimate for the home is actually $2,240,100. And it sold for $1,795,000. When I searched on Google Maps, it's got a for sale sign up. So I don't know how old that Google Maps picture is. It could be from 2019 when it was on sale, but
yeah,
I don't know. I tried to look to see if it was like possibly
you'd be able to see the
listing
listing now if it was for sale.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well. I didn't know if it was something that would pop up right away or if I had to search for it or something like that. Anyway, it was funny. Yeah, so that's a pretty interesting story.
Cool.
I love stories that are associated with homes or like places when they have like such a vast history of ghosts, like,
yeah,
you know, activity and stuff like that. I find it so fascinating. And I wish there was more stories about what happened in the home, but everything you look up right now is literally all about the home itself and becoming legally haunted in the United States, like being the first home. I don't know if there's any more homes after that were legally marked as legally haunted, but anyway, that was the first one. So I'm sure it creates the grounds for lawyers to fight that in the future, to bring up that whole Ghostbusters ruling.
Damn, I bet that couples, they're kicking themselves now because now it's worth way more money.
Right? It's estimated at $2.24 million right now, which is wild. And I suspect in this market, that was in 2019. In the last few years, we all know where the market went. So I'm sure now it's probably even more.
Went down the crapper. Can confirm as somebody that bought a house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You have experience. Yeah. It's on the waterfront of Hudson River. Like I'm just looking at a picture of the back porch right now, and it's got a beautiful veranda, wraparound porch, and a beautiful backyard, and it's just the river right there. Like, it's gorgeous. I am a fan. We'll post pictures of the home because it's on all these different real estate sites, so there's gorgeous pictures of it. Yeah. Like, I can't post them all because we only have 9 spaces for photos, but we'll post some. It's a gorgeous home. I love it. I actually want to go there.
Just show up there. Hey.
I want to do like a haunted tour of places. I'd love to just go around and search all these homes for, not people's homes. I mean, unless they're willing to have people
wants
come
to go
into
around
your
and
home.
search people's
Can
homes.
you please let me know if your house is haunted and let me come visit you? Because I would love to come visit your house.
God, don't put that energy out there. Some stranger's going to be like,
I know.
Come over.
Just kidding. No, it's got to be listed on a legitimate tour. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, Nikki, I think it's your turn to roll.
It is my turn. Oh, God. What did I get? I rolled a 9. I got Weird Science.
Weird Science. I love it. Awesome.
I judged the categories today.
That's awesome. You did what?
I judged the categories.
Oh, did you? Nice.
I did. I put some fresh ones in there. I reordered some things.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, because they were getting a little stale.
Yeah. We need something fresh. We need new perspective.
I love it. I love Weird Science. Oh, it's going to be good.
If you would like to find us on social media, you can search The Grim Dark Diaries and you will find us, and you can look at pictures on Instagram and they're very nice. Or if you would like to contact us and tell me about how you lost your flavor, and if you could still tell flavors apart though, then you can email us, and we are thegrimdarkdiaries@gmail.com.
Or if you can feel the food on your tongue.
No, of course I can feel the food on my tongue. I didn't lose feeling.
Feel the energy and the different types of things that you might feel from the food.
No, I can taste flavors, but I can't taste flavors. It's very weird.
I want to know the science behind that.
I don't know. I don't know how to Google that to be like, Did everyone else have this thing?
Yeah.
I only know one other person that lost their sense of taste, and I asked her, and I was like, could you like taste things, like differentiate? And she was like, no. She's like, I could feel texture and hot and cold. Okay. I was like, okay, no, my taste buds apparently are sophisticated somehow.
That's so weird. So weird.
Trust me, I'm the one experiencing it, and it is very weird.
I can't even imagine.
So you can email me that, please. And if you would be so kind as to leave us a rating and a review, especially if you have Apple Podcasts, because you can do both of those things.
Oh.
Both of those things. And if you listen to us on Spotify, you can also give us a 5-star rating, and we really appreciate it, and it makes my heart warm. So please do that, because I am sad that I had COVID and I missed my vacation and I cried about a stuffy nose.
Aww,
so please.
So sad.
And I sound funny, please.
Please send all of your love to Nikki, because she needs it right now.
I don't really. There's people that have it way worse than me. I'm just really sad when I have a stuffy nose.
You deserve it too, Nikki.
No, it's fine. No. Send it to my husband, though. He might be dying.
Yeah. Although by the time this episode comes out, it'll be probably too late.
Probably. You know what? The day was our first day back to work, and he really struggled. At like 4:30, he was like, I don't even remember my day. Oh, and he's like, I don't remember what I did. Yeah, he's got brain fog. He's got everything.
That's so sad. Oh my gosh.
It is. It's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, poor guy.
So make sure you tune in next week and see what I come up with for weird science. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.